What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of South Stand Signings, this series, of course, where we go through everything happening in and around the world of Leeds United, and we have a little talk about it. And today is another morning, and we're here to go through everything around Leeds United. We've got a couple of hot stories for us to dig our gnashes into. So, as always, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do and tick that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content, because believe me, there's a lot of information flying out of our radars very, very soon. But let's not waste any more of your time. Let's get straight into the first story, which is surrounding Mr. Ben Godfrey. And obviously we were speaking about him yesterday and the potential of Leeds United signing him. Well, it seems that potential has only got bigger, because sources are indicating that Leeds United open preliminary talks with Everton over Ben Godfrey loan to buy deal. Leeds United have opened preliminary talks about a loan-to-buy deal for Everton star Ben Godfrey, sources have told the Football Insider. Leeds are discussing with Everton a loan with an obligation to buy. Sean Dyche has given the green light for the centre-back to leave Goodison Park this month as the club look to reduce their wage bill. Obviously, Everton heavily being hit by financial fair play regulations right now. They've already got a 10-point deduction. There's rumours that they might get even more of a point deduction. Well, lads, stealing all our players didn't work out for you too well, did it, boys? But anyway, it does look like Everton are really willing to let Ben Godfrey go. It's something that, I wasn't that convinced with personally. When I first saw the story, I really wasn't that convinced. You guys have helped persuaded me on that. The fact that he's versatile, the fact that he can play in multiple positions across that back line, not just centre-half, the fact he has played at Norwich before with Farke. So it is a move that could work out for Leeds well. It is a move that is making more sense as the days go on. Is it my first target? No, I'd rather get a natural fullback rather than a centre-half who can kind of play out at fullback, but it does still seem like a very good move for Leeds, and it probably is one of two moves we're going to make. I am really starting to resign myself to the fact that we're probably going to make one or two moves now in the remainder of the transfer market. Not much more than that, but as things stand, things are progressing very nicely with Ben Godfrey. He has made 80 appearances for the Toffee since signing from Norwich in 2020 for around £25 million, and they might be losing him for barely a zilch of that. But has struggled for consistent minutes since a broken fibula forced him to miss the opening half of last season. Daniel Farke's side are eager for new additions this month as they push for promotion back to the Premier League. Damn right we are. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Are you guys excited about the potential of signing Ben Godfrey? I know it's very polarizing. You're very split. Some of you are really convincing me. Some of you were kind of agreeing with me initially and saying it's not really the move you want to make. I really want to know what you guys have to say. Just fill me with some confidence. And speaking of the guy who will probably be going the other way, it is Charlie Creswell. And there's a new report coming out today that Daniel Farke offers Leeds United transfer ultimatum to not fully focused 21-year-old. Leeds United centre-back Charlie Creswell remains out in the cold after making it known to Daniel Farke that he is unhappy with his current role, but no interested clubs have stumped up Leeds' valuation for him. He wants out. He wants gone. We've all sat here and we've debated, should he stay? Should we keep him? Should he go? Listen, if the guy wants out, the guy wants out. There's no point forcing a player to be here. We've seen it with Wilfried Gnonto this year. We forced him to stay when realistically he didn't, albeit the situations are very different, because one is because someone can't get into the team, one is because someone thinks they're better than the team. So obviously there's different situations to it, but if a player doesn't want to be there, there's no point keeping him there in my opinion. But it does seem like he is going out. But as for the aforementioned Wilfried Gnonto, there has been shock stories this week. We've been talking about him signing a new deal potentially. Well, there is even more meat on that bone as Phil Hay has come out to share his thoughts on the matter. According to The Athletic's Phil Hay, Gnonto could sign a new deal at Ellen Road. Leeds are apparently looking to finalise an agreement with the forward after some productive negotiations this week. Even though his contract still has 3.5 years to run. It's still going until 2027. And in a attached story for The Athletic, Hay adds that a deal is close, and so one of the big success stories of the January window could be an in-house breakthrough rather than an external transfer, which, really goes to say something, because we could do with some external transfers nonetheless. But it is definitely a big move for Leeds, because it could revitalise his career, as he said, and this is coming out of multiple sources. There's another one here suggesting that he could be landing a significant pay rise for himself in this new contract that he has been offered. The details have not been made public. These have not been finalised, but from everything we're hearing, he could be in for a severe pay rise, which begs the question, if you were going to play devil's advocate, what has he actually done to earn the pay rise? Because he hasn't done anything for us this year. So why would he have earned himself a significant pay rise when we've already got him for another 3.5 years? Is this a way of motivating him to get back to the player that we all believe he is? Is this a way of tying him down for longer so that when other clubs come in, we have more bargaining power to keep him and to demand higher transfer wages from them? It's interesting. I'm not 100% sure what he's done, but let me know what you guys think about him potentially getting a pay rise down below. Is that money that could be used elsewhere? And finally, on Wilfried Gnonto, Fabrizio Romano has come out to give his 2 pence on the situation, and he says, I wouldn't get too carried away basically over the new contract just yet, because there is nothing confirming it and it is still open. He says Fabrizio Romano believes Wilfried Gnonto's situation at Leeds United remains open at this stage despite talks of a potential contract extension, and he gave this while he was speaking to Give Me Sport. Contract extension. I can barely speak today. What's going on? And I said there was a last story around Wilfried Gnonto. Well, I suppose I'm wrong, because there was other story I was looking at, and that was to do with his injury. And unfortunately, he will not be featuring, well, most likely will not be featuring today against Norwich, which, to be fair, isn't the most alarming news, because even when he has been fit, he hasn't been starting anyway. Dan James has been banging. You're not going to be dropping Dan James after the performances he's put in recently, so nothing major there, but he isn't going to be able to feature most likely. Now, another story is circulating around a player that currently plays at the club named Mr. Joseph Rodon. Could Leeds United sign Joseph Rodon this month? Obviously, we have him on loan to the rest of the season, and a lot of you guys helped convince me, as well as himself helped convince me, that, you know what, maybe that was a very good move from Leeds. I was unconvinced at the beginning. I made that known to everybody, but he has really changed my idea on him, and I think he has turned out to be a great signing for Leeds. Now, is it something that we need in the Premier League? That is up for another debate. A lot of you believe so, and if so, definitely tying him down as soon as possible will be a good idea, because you don't want what happened with Ben White to happen again. Now, do I think it's the same kind of situation? Ben White was at Brighton, Joe Rodon's at Tottenham. Is a huge difference. I don't think no matter how well he plays, he will go to Tottenham. So I don't think it's as urgent that we sign him now, because let's be real, if he did get promoted with us, the 2 options he'd have really are signing for Leeds or going back to Tottenham. He's not really gonna be going off to a Palace or someone like that, considering he's already made himself a mainstay in the Leeds United setup. So for me, I don't see this as such an urgent thing. Maybe you guys disagree. If there was an option, do you guys think it's worth tying him down to a new deal now? I personally believe it's better to wait until the end of the season and, you know, use that money elsewhere. But let me know what you guys think anyway down in the comment section down below. And finally, with the news of fullbacks, obviously Neco Williams probably is looking unlikely. We spoke about that yesterday with Forest rejecting Feyenoord's offer. Some people believe Leeds should be looking towards Man City's Sergio Gomez. It's an interesting move. It seems like a bit of a far-fetched one right now. I'm not going to go into the nooks and crannies of how he would play for Leeds, because there really isn't too much substance behind this. It's more of an opinion piece on who we should go for. And I just chucked it in there to see if you guys had any thoughts on Sergio Gomez and whether you thought it would be a good move for Leeds United. But anyway, those are the stories of this morning. It's been a bit of a slow-moving morning in terms of transfer news. Not really too much to talk about. The main story is surrounding Ben Godfrey. That's basically the bulk of the articles that I've been reading this morning. There isn't too much else out there, so let me know what you guys think about all these moves anyway down in the comment section down below. And as always, I hope to see you guys very soon. We will be streaming the Norwich match later on tonight, so make sure you're there. Be there or be square, boys. For now, guys, I will see you very soon. Au revoir, my brothers and my sisters.